the Minecraft movie. Here's my honest review, and if I think it's even worth you going at all. The bad, the good, and everything in between with as few spoilers as possible. Any details mentioned happened within the first 15 minutes. So I just got back from the theater, and I can say the movie was definitely getting clowned on a lot. I don't think I've seen a positive review, and it seems the trailers and characters were received pretty negatively, even by the target audience being children probably under the age of 12. I also saw a lot of hate over popcorn buckets, but I mean, what's new? I swear every popcorn bucket has hate. The complaints were that the TNT bucket wasn't red enough, but I wouldn't know considering my theater didn't have any. They did, however, have creeper popcorn buckets, which, I mean, looked like creepers, yes. Now, first impressions. I sat down keeping my mind as open as possible as I wanted to give the movie a fair chance. I also realized I'm not the target audience, and not gonna lie, 5 minutes in, I was definitely regretting my choice. I mean, tickets were $22 and $19 for my little brother. Like, those are some expensive tickets. Now imagine the voice narration from How to Train Your Dragon. Yes, that's how the movie starts, but like worse. And I literally heard a child sitting a few seats over tell their parents they were gonna fall asleep. But those are the worst 5 minutes of the entire movie. Honestly guys, you may be surprised, but I don't think the movie was actually that bad. Its audience is definitely children, but for the most part I actually enjoyed it. Not making top 20 movies, but definitely not the worst piece of cinema I've ever seen. After the first 5 minutes, the kids seemed to get really into it, so much that they were talking the whole time and cheering the protagonists on. I was happy that they were happy. The movie follows 4 different characters who need to keep a cube safe. Honestly guys, it's the plot of Jumanji. Not the original one, but the one with The Rock and Kevin Hart. Yeah, if you know the plot of that movie, the plot of this one is literally identical, but slightly worse. Pretty much Henry and his older sister Natalie's mother died, and so they moved. Now, to be honest, I don't know what year it is, but it looked like it was 1990. Natalie is driving and working some corporate job, and I don't know if it was to add to comedy, but this girl looks no older than 14. Like, please. Also, I feel as if the death of their mother served no purpose to the actual story, but feel free to disagree. Of course, guys, this all happens within the first 10 minutes. There were definitely a few parts of the plot that didn't make complete sense to me, but I won't dive too deep into those right now. This movie is also riddled with comedy and funny moments. Some which definitely got eye rolls, but some jokes I thought were genuinely funny. There were also a few adult jokes thrown in, which the kids definitely understood from them yelling "Ayo" in the theater, but I digress. The movie also definitely earned more respect with several references they include. One being a Technical Blade reference, where a pig with a crown walks through the village and Henry, who is the main character, asks, "What is that? Is he a king?" And Steve replies, "No, he's a legend." Not gonna lie, almost made me shed a tear. I also believe some other YouTubers did voice lines for the movie and helped out with it. My biggest complaint is I feel like there's barely any character development. Yes, the characters changed to the end, but it felt more forced to me than anything. I also didn't like how somehow the 4 of them just sort of knew how Minecraft worked, even though supposedly in this alternate reality the game didn't even exist. These are minor. I found myself getting hyped during the end battle, and also found the Jeep ad pretty comical. Props I do want to give this movie, however, is that it actually looks really good. I do agree that maybe it would have been better if they animated the whole thing, but what they did animate in CGI, there are literally no complaints from me. It looks like Minecraft. The mobs look like the mobs, and the villagers, well, actually looking terrifying, look how you expect. Every tool looks how I'd expect a tool in Minecraft to look, though the armor is just a little goofy, but I also believe that was intentional. I also appreciate that message of the movie, which was to be creative no matter how anyone else views you or thinks about it. I think that is an important message for everyone, and to teach kids that you're gonna be judged, you're gonna be picked on, but you can't let that stop your creativity. So I do give the movie props for giving a good life lesson along with it. So would I spend $22 to watch it? No. I would probably wait until it gets released on other platforms in a couple months, but I don't think you'll get sitting down for an hour and a half and watching it, especially if you at some point grew up or still growing up to Minecraft. Of course, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think, and the video on screen is recommended just for you.